The situation has passengers curious if it's even safe to fly in and out of that airport or any other airport at this time. Kent State University Associate Professor of Aeronautics Jason Lorenzen is someone we lean on a lot for these questions, and he's back to weigh in on what he thinks needs to happen next. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, the technology is cited as part of the problem. How are the aging computers playing a part in the reduction of the flights right now?
So that's one of the major parts, is a technological advancement that needs to happen within the national airspace system. But one thing I do want to assure people is that it's still safe to fly. You may have some more delays. In terms of what engineers call a system of systems, aircraft have something called ADS-B on board, so we are aware of other aircraft around us when we're flying, and there are several contingency plans already in place, and we do see them working. But what we're going to see happening, especially in Newark, is the fact that some of the flights are going to be delayed, perhaps canceled.
Let me ask you, will this affect other airports in terms of their traffic, especially if there's connecting flights? Should people be paying attention to that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're going to Newark and that's your final point or your destination point, I think you're fine. But if you're trying to connect, you may want to find an alternative connection point, or even some other, different airlines seeing where they're going out of, perhaps, closer to JFK, maybe Philadelphia, maybe even Boston if you're going to Europe, from the Northeast Ohio area, or if you're going south. Again, my wife always likes to aim for the direct flights. And for obvious reasons, because you don't have to connect, you don't have to worry about it's not just ATC and the staffing issues that they're facing, but there's other contingencies of weather, mechanical issues, and again, the major goal is safety, and we do see now the airlines, the FAA, and the whole industry reacting accordingly.
Another issue is the shortage of air traffic controllers. Sean Duffy floated an idea pushing back the retirement age from 56 to 61. From your perspective, you've also been talking with other pilots you mentioned today. So what do you think needs to happen to fix some of the problems that they're having? And do you think that June 15th deadline that he laid out to reduce the number of flights at Newark, is that reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, when you have a goal set up, let's see if, again, if the goal is there to meet that, the industry, the stakeholders will generally react that way. If it's not possible, well, then they're going to say, this is not possible, Mr. Duffy, but these are alternative plans. Because the major thing is that airlines want to make sure that people get to where they're going, because if they don't get to where they're going, unfortunately, the airlines are not producing the revenue that they need to keep afloat. So that's you're going to see happening a lot in the next little while. And June 15th, I don't think is unreasonable. We're also seeing now a major hiring with a lot of our Kent State students receiving the next step in that job interview process for ATC with the FAA. So all in all, again, it's going to be pretty productive. And again, I think the biggest thing that the secretary has also mentioned is that the increase of technology and the technological advancement that needs to happen and replacing some of this older technology.
Real quick, what would be a good teaching lesson that's going to be learned by some of your students? What would you say this is really teaching them in real time?
Well, I think what it's teaching them, one, we give them the tools on how to act, both from ATC, our prop majors, in dealing with that. From professional pilots, what we teach them is, we're all one team working together to make sure that mission is accomplished safely and efficiently. I think the next thing from ATC is there's a whole bunch of opportunities that are available to them in terms of other job opportunities that they may not have considered.
Jason, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, Lindsay.